first date. I don't do that. I was like, I wanna know who you is before anything. And as I'm talking to her, she's in the table like,
movies went great. We decided to like go and get food, and we got food, and we sat in my car. We listened to music, we were talking, and
like 3 weeks. She was on hold though. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. She real.
boy, and like, okay, it got so bad. It was to the point.
Significant other's love language is important, so that way you know how that person receives and perceives.
And you're in a relationship, but we like sleeping together. We're in a situationship because we've already established. This is the situationship talk. It's Monday and we're back. It's Situationship Talk. It's your girl Candy K. Lynn.
I'm your boy Last Page.
And we are back with another episode of Situationship Talk, guys. Who, Last Page? We always talk about situationships, but today we want to get to people like a little bit more. So today our topic is dating with purpose.
Yes.
Dating with purpose. So like off the top of your head, when you think dating with purpose, what do you think about?
I think about going out, spending quality time with each other, investing that time, investing time in each other. You know what I mean? You know, you find yourself spending all your time with that particular person. Eventually things turn into, a serious relationship. You know what I mean? So that's what I look at as, dating with a purpose.
Okay. And Juanita is back joining us. Welcome back, Juanita, aka Tweet the Motto.
Sorry about that.
Hey. So we're
Hey, can you
back.
hear me?
I can. We are talking situationships normally, but today we're talking dating with a purpose. So when you hear dating with a purpose, what do you
Okay.
think? What automatically comes to mind?
When think of dating with a purpose, I see it as being dating someone that you would like to have something long term with, someone that you can see yourself spending a lifetime with.
Okay. So you see yourself spending a lifetime with that person, and how? So for me, when I think about dating with a purpose, I think that means like you really got to be serious, right? We really
Right.
got to talk to each other. We got to get to know each other. Ooh, I got to meet your folks. I got to learn about you. I got to ask questions about your childhood, your adulthood, your past relationships. So it sounds stressful to me. Dating with a purpose sounds stressful.
You think so?
Absolutely.
I don't think so, especially if it's excuse me, I don't think so, especially if it's somebody that, you really like, and, somebody that, you're around, and you just don't mind them taking up your time. You know what I'm saying? Every time they're around you, it's refreshing. Everything that y'all do, is organic, nothing is forced,
Organic.
you know?
I
True.
like that. I like that. So we're talking about that. What are some have you guys ever dated with purpose? Have you been in a relationship where you were like, I'm in this for real, for real?
Yeah, yeah,
How do
yeah.
you know?
Hmm.
What do you do different when you're dating for with a purpose?
Well, I found myself going that extra mile, doing a little bit more for that individual that I know I wouldn't do for anybody else. You know, cooking for them. Those are amenities of Last Page. You know what I'm saying? I'm cooking for you. I'm rubbing your feet. I'm doing all this stuff. I'm not doing this for everybody. You know what I mean? So, I think that means a lot when it comes to dating with a purpose.
Okay, you said cooking. Juanita, what is it? What is it that you do that you know that's pushing it and taking it to the next level for you?
I would say, for me, I would say giving someone my time,
Okay.
planning, giving someone my time, a commitment, to just that one person.
A commitment to that one person. And what are some
Hmm.
things that you do differently when you're in those situations? Like, what have you found? So you're committed to that person. You're giving that person your time.
Hmm.
What do you do differently when you enter that relationship versus those situations that become situationships where there are no titles, there are no you don't know what it is, you're just doing. How do you avoid
I would
that?
say, how do I avoid the situationship?
Yes. How do you date with a purpose in order to avoid a situationship?
Well, I
I
mean,
think
you let it be known out the gate,
yeah,
though. You know what I'm
sure. You have to
saying?
let it be known your
Like,
intentions.
yeah, you let them know your intentions. Like, this is what I want. This is what I want to do. You know, if this is not what you want, then, you're just. It's safe to say you're not the one for me. You know.
How quick do you do that though? How quick are you saying like, hey, I want like how do you go like in the first date saying I want to be in a relationship, I don't want to be in a situationship? Do you talk to the person for a while before you decide? How do you know that you need to be dating this person with purpose?
I think that it's you can kind of just feel that over time. There's not. I don't think it's something you can know off the first date or two. I think once you start spending more time with that person, then you can kind of see at that point what direction it may be going in or what direction you want it to go in. So then you can have that conversation.
You sort of kind of can say that, but you know, you sort of kind of can't because you got a lot of people that meet each other at first sight. They fall in love at first sight. And they end up getting married like 2 or 3 months after
Hmm.
meeting each other, and they would
Yeah,
still
that's
be
true.
together until this day. So it's just different for everybody, I guess.
That's true.
So, man,
Okay.
listen, it's stressful. It just sounds like it's stressful. Like for me personally, right? This is the first time I've ever dated. Well, maybe in high school, when we thought we was getting married, like, oh, this is my boyfriend and he loves me and I love him and we were gonna get married when I turned 18 and da 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 da. But in between the time, I think most people just be out here doing stuff. Now I've met some people.
True.
Um, I met some. I went to college with a couple, and I'm friends with both of them. And I always think back to when we were freshmen in the dorm, and we lived on the first. We lived on the second floor. The guys lived on the first floor, and I just remember her telling us like this dude was hers. Like everybody better back off because he was gonna be her man. And I was like, sis, don't nobody want him. Like I didn't come to college like to find a husband in that moment. We were like literally day 2 or 3 in. I don't think it was a week into our freshman year. But now I look back and I'm like, I kind of use her as a model because I'm like, she got what she wanted. Like she literally, they are married, they have beautiful kids, they have a beautiful life together. And at that time,
Oh
now for
wow.
me, when I think about dating with purpose, I think about the fact of at 18, she knew she was intentional about who she was choosing to deal with, right? Because he was a decent guy. He wasn't doing what everybody else was doing. You could tell by the way that he carried himself. He was going to be a successful young man. So even at 18, there are some young ladies that have decided they want a husband. They're gonna find their husband. They're gonna date with purpose. So I would say to young people, men and women, if you see something that you want, you've got to be together and ready at that time because you may miss your opportunity. And sis nailed her opportunity. Sis nailed her man. I mean, they literally, like, I watch their page and I be like, that's dating with purpose. That's dating with intention.
So, what you think about the question Gloria Milton just asked?
Let's see. Steve Harvey talks about this and Think Like a Man, self help. He suggests women do check ins at 3, 6, and 9 months. What's that man's intentions? What do you guys think? I, I guess. I mean, I'm still growing on this dating with purpose thing. I don't know if I'm gonna follow Steve Harvey's exact blueprint. Um, Bits and pieces I think are helpful, but I think that when you're dating with intention, you've literally got to heal yourself first. I think for me that's one of the biggest things that I think you
Mhm.
need to do, and you have to ask a lot of questions. I get told
Right.
I ask a lot of questions, but I mean, I don't know about 3, 6, and 9 months because I don't know. What do you say at 3 months? Do you love me? 6 months, are you in love with me? At 9 months, are we getting married? Like, he says that, but I think that you guys, like Juanita said,
If you
you
can
need
get
to talk
past
about it.
that,
Yeah.
you
Can you
get
get
to
past
3
9? You
months.
know,
Can you
can you
get
get
right? Can you make it past 9? Can we make it to a year? You know,
can
Right.
we get but I
Some
think
people
if
can't
people are
even. I used to
intentional,
always say it's hard to make it past 90 days.
I agree. Cuz I
Mhm.
don't like
And I'm
most
just
people after that.
yeah, and it's not that, it was funny because when I was out there dating, I would say I met someone. I said, "Don't worry about it. Give me 30 days, and I'll check back with you." And by the time, they're like, "Girl, don't even worry about it." Girl, it was nothing. Don't worry about it. So if they make it to 90, you're like, wait a minute, now, wait a minute, something may be going on here. In 6 months, oh yeah, we in this thing.
yeah.
Okay. So
I mean,
maybe
30
the 3,
days is
6 and
like,
9 month. Okay, so maybe the check-in is a good thing, right? Maybe we should check in with our
yeah,
own individual selves at those points and just see, a temperature gauge of how are you doing? Like, what are we
right.
doing here at this point? Maybe that's what we should be doing because I think it's relatively new. I think that older people dated with purpose. Women back in the day, their only purpose in life was to get married and have kids. They didn't really have no other relevance. And I ain't trying to be funny, but like, let's just
True.
be honest. That's what older women did. They got married and they had kids. That was their purpose in life, and they knew that they were supposed to find a husband to take care of them. We live in a different time where we go get our own money. So I don't know if women are always thinking out of the gate when they meet a man, because I know in the past I haven't. I meet a man and I'm like, he fine, and that's about like you said, people, my friends know. Don't even ask after, like, you meet somebody, girl, I don't even remember his name. Don't ask me in 60 days because I done forgot his name because I ain't interested. Like, because I look for certain things like consistency, right? You meet, if I meet you, you don't
Right.
call me within the first week. I ain't forgot. I done
Okay.
forgot about you.
Question. What if what
I'm.
if he what if he's very consistent, right? And then some women they
Mhm.
get annoyed by that shit. Girl, he keep calling me. He getting on my nerves. Like I want
I
consistency. I want a man to do this, and I want him to do
okay.
that. And then when
Let's
y'all do
let's
actually
rephrase
get
that.
that, y'all
But
get
she has to
annoyed.
like you though. She has to like you though. A woman is not gonna be annoyed by someone that she likes. Trust me.
Good
Because
point.
every
Okay.
time you call, she gonna brighten up. When she see your text, she on the phone with a homegirl. Girl, I gotta go, and she gonna take
Yeah.
that call. If she's being annoyed, it's because she doesn't really like you the way you probably think that she does. Just like you wouldn't be annoyed
Okay.
by no woman that you were interested in, but if someone
And
was
you know
calling you and
what?
texting you that you wasn't interested in, you'd be like, that's girl. What does she want?
And you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I have been annoyed. I have been annoyed with women that I didn't truly like.
Oh,
Like,
And
oh,
how,
she
and
got
when
on
you
my
say
nerves.
consistency, what is like, are you just calling me daily, or are you calling me back when I told you I'm gonna call you back? Are you calling me multiple times in a day? Like,
I mean, all of the above.
yeah, there's
You know what I mean?
yeah, you annoying me. Don't call me. I'll call you back. I'm gonna call you back. If I tell you I'm gonna call you back and you call me, I'm probably gonna block you because I'm that type of man.
No.
Oh, I am easily annoyed.
I
Easily
say
annoyed.
She's a
Consistency,
runner.
consistency.
She's a track star.
runner. I mean, I am.
I don't think
I
consistency
am
is like
all
calling
flights.
someone all the time. I think
You say,
consistency is just that you're being consistent in getting to know the person. Sometimes you'll meet a guy and he'll be on it for like that first week. And then okay, we always say when them good morning beautiful. When them texts stop, it
He
fell off.
texting somebody else.
Right. So when I
He
say
texting
consistency, I mean that you're consistent with dating me.
communication. Right.
yeah.
You're not in communication, you're not hot 1 minute and then cold, you fall off for a couple weeks. I don't hear nothing from you. Then you like, hey, stranger. That's what I consider consistent, not just like someone calling you and talking to you on the phone all the time. Just you're just consistent with dating and getting to know me.
I think you
Right.
made a great point,
Making
Juanita.
plans.
Yeah. So I think you made a great point with this dating with purpose. So you said that and when we say he, we're saying he, she, because everybody is sometimes not dating with purpose. when you say that fall off, how do you guys handle that? So if you are dating someone and let's say everything's going good for that first 30 days and then that person like disappears for a week, how do you guys individually handle that?
Well, I got ghosts before. I got ghosts a few times. You know, I call and they won't pick up, or they wouldn't reply back to my messages. I already know what it is. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when in my younger years, I used to be like, "What the fuck going on?" type shit. You know what I'm saying? But now, like at my age now, like shit. If she don't like me, all right, fine. Her loss. That's just what I think to myself. I laugh to myself. Cause I'm like, shit, I'm too good for you anyway. That's how I see it.
Okay. Juanita, what about you? Have they like stopped calling for a week and then started calling back like 3 weeks later? Have you guys ever encountered that? Like
I've
a ghost
encountered
and a
that, but
return?
I just ignore those. I had this one particular guy. I was like, he would text me. It's just like every once in a while, you're like, well, like, what do you want, sir? Like he'll go 2 or 3 weeks, maybe a month or two, and then he'll go a text, and then I reply back, or I won't reply back. Then he fall off for a couple more weeks, and then come back. I think they just testing temperature. They bored. They going through that phone.
Trying to see if they
Yeah,
still got it,
yeah. Oh
all
yeah,
of
I used to
those
text her.
shit.
Let me. What's she up to?
Yeah.
That type of stuff.
Can I share something with y'all?
What?
What?
So those people, if they call me back, I'll ask them, I'll be like, are you on crack? Like, are you on crack? And the reason why I do, right, is because, again, that temperature gauge. Feeling people out. To me, consistency is what we talked about earlier. People who are being bothered with people, you're consistent, right? I need you to be hot or cold. I need you to do like Last Page said and completely ghost me and disappear. Or I need you to say, hey, I'm going through something right now. I'm going to need some time. You know what I'm saying? So the back and forth with me. So if I got time today, I will entertain you and be like, do you do drugs? And then people are like, what do you mean? I'll be like, well, only crackheads disappear. Drug addicts tend to do stuff like that. And then people will be like, what? And then they'll never do it again. Like, we'll be cool. And I'll tell you, you're automatically friend zone with me at that point because I don't know if you have a drug issue. Right. That's the first thing that comes to my mind because people with mental health and drug addictions are people who just disappear on you and then show back up. So that's just my mindset on that. You've got a lot of inconsistencies and you may be a great person. I'm willing to get to know you as a person, but I'm not willing to get to know you on a personal level at that point because you've already shown me you will disappear and then come back. Like, disappear and stay gone. Don't disappear and then reappear and
then tell about, hey, stranger.
Yeah, talk about hey, stranger.
Yeah, the hey. But you know what? I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I'm guilty of doing the hey stranger shit. I pop in and pop out.
I think all guys do that.
I'd have got treated and some, just stay talking to me or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But how I saw it, nothing ever ended on the bad note. So, hey, big head.
No. See, and that's the thing. And so Gloria made a great point here. She said, in my opinion, sometimes people realize they have more healing to do and are too nervous to tell that person. I agree, Gloria, but you still get friends on with me. Because I did have a dude that we was really cool. Like, we had a great first date. We were dating and everything was going cool. We were kicking it. And then he disappeared. And then when he called me back, I was like, are you on drugs? And he was like, nah. He's like, me and my ex, I thought I had feelings for her. And I was like, oh.
As soon as he said my ex, that was it.
And I told him, I said, oh, I don't date people who are in love with their ex-girlfriends. Because I'm that ex-girlfriend. I'm that toxic champagne for a lot of men. So I know how that goes. Because you're going to always be dipping back to her. So for me, I would just tell people that if someone is discovering that they still have feelings for their ex, I don't play second fiddle to anybody. I don't want to be the woman he loved second. I want to be the woman he loved first. So I'm not, you friend zone. Like, it just is what it is.
Right.
So I don't know. What is
how can you compete with that anyway?
You can't. Women, listen to us. You cannot compete with, or men, you cannot compete with the person that they really love. You are just a placeholder because they're going to go back.
True.
Ask me. Just keep waiting for my book. You know, I did it for like way too many years to talk about. So
I would
and
not.
you will not.
I will not. I will not go through that.
You don't. And see, but a lot of it with me was when I was young. Like a lot of those relationships were like 18, 19, spearheaded. But as an adult, I tell women all the time, like I said, if he disappear, block him. When you break up, don't go back. And it was lessons I had to learn. And that's why I like try to have these conversations now, because nobody says like, hey, y'all probably toxic together. Y'all probably don't need to be together. Y'all are probably like not staying together for a reason. But I feel like personally, those relationships, because I had like 2 of them, I feel like we've done so much damage to other people. So as an adult, I think that's what I realized that was like most hurtful. And that's why as a woman, if a man is like, oh, I love my ex, or I think I love my ex, I'm gonna be like, well, I hope y'all find happiness.
But you know, when they say hurt people, I just think it's total bullshit. It's bullshit. Like at some point, you need to be able to take responsibility for the things that you're doing to other people. Just because that person did that to you don't mean you have to carry those toxic traits that they brought on to you. So now you may come across a dude that's really good, that's here, you know, looking out for your best interest, that care about your well-being and everything, and you're purposely being toxic to this individual. Now whatever it was that he did want to bring in your circumference, you done already tarnished that. Now
But that is the healing process. It's true. Like, but I've never, like, I'm honest, right? So usually if in those situations, I was dealing with other people who was with the shits. Like, I would never, in those times, I would never get into anything serious with somebody who was a decent person, right? That I felt like, oh, he's not gonna cheat. He's not gonna, like, nah. So usually during those situations, if you pay attention, when men are dipping back and forth with their baby mama, or women are dipping back and forth with their baby daddy, they usually dealing with people who dipping over here or dipping over there as well. Nobody is really dating with purpose. People are just doing stuff to fill time.
Baby mama, baby daddy. That's why the baby mama, baby daddy drama come into play. You know what I'm saying? It just seems like people ain't nobody practicing safe sex. It's like condoms just cease to exist to use. Like don't nobody want to use none of them because everybody having kids, and it seemed like back in the old days the way they having kids now, shit.
Oh,
well, y'all ain't got nothing else better to do but the fuck. That's all y'all got. That's all y'all got to do. It ain't nothing else to do. Damn.
Well, for some people, it's not. Like, if you think about the mindset, right?
Yeah, because you do have some that, you know, it seems like their sole purpose is to have children. And I think that's sad.
But their sole purpose is to have children because they don't do anything with purpose. Like, and that's the whole part. Women with purpose don't have a whole bunch of babies. Unless they're a wife.
Or they don't have none.
Exactly. Their purpose was to become a wife.
Right.
And their purpose was to become a mother. But women who have purpose do not have a bunch of babies.
I was looking at something.
We have places to be and things to do.
I was looking at something with Kevin Samuels. He was interviewing one chick, and she already had 2 kids. Now look, I don't like Kevin Samuels, okay, but he be having valid points with a lot of stuff he be saying. But the chick was like, what she say? My cookies. What she say? My cookies is worth waiting for. Look, sweetheart, my cookies is worth waiting for, or something like that. He like, how your cookies is worth waiting for? You done already popped out 2 children. What do you mean? And it's stuff like that where you have women that, you know, they so used to dealing with ain't shit men, they want to try to set the bar high for the next dude, knowing that she done dealt with shit all her life.
So are you saying that she should continue at that level that she's been on? She shouldn't like try to raise her standards? No, ain't nothing wrong with raising your standards, but if you're gonna raise your standards, make sure you fit that criteria while raising your standards. I mean, she can find a good
Because
man.
it's a lot of men that don't want no woman with kids.
And I feel like I feel like baby mamas and baby daddies should date each other. That's just me personally. Because
That's how I feel too.
I feel like a man saying, "Oh, I don't want no woman with kids," but I know people who got 14. Sir, you cannot be picky, and no woman with good sense should want you. And that's just my
No.
women. And I
They
think
ain't got
women
no
should be more
money.
select. I think women should be more selective too, because I think there's no way as a woman you should want a man with multiple kids. Girl, he got child support. He got back child support. He gonna go to jail for back child support. He can't see all them kids at Christmas.
His
You can't get no
paychecks
Christmas
getting
gift.
garnished.
14
It's like
kids.
all,
That's
it's just
That's horrible. That means he practiced
under
no safe
45,
sex at
under
all.
40. The individual is under 45, meaning that they can still have kids. Because men have kids up until 60.
You know that's like it's like serial. I mean, like, can you go to jail for that? Ain't that like obstruction of birth? You know what I'm saying? Like being destructive to your being destructive with fertility. Like, I mean, like, should it be a law for that?
I mean, it's a burden on society, because I guarantee you some of your baby mamas have been on the system. And I mean, and it just is. And again, dating with purpose. With purpose, as a woman, you shouldn't be laying down with a man who already has that amount of kids.
I've
Women
known
don't
people who
care,
had
though.
like the man's 10th child. I'm like, are you serious? Baby number 10. That's crazy.
You
And your
you
name
number
and
10,
your baby
shorty.
daddy ain't Lil Wayne, The Rock, you know, somebody who Nick Cannon. You know, baby number 10 with Nick Cannon ain't the same as baby number 10 with homeboy who make barely $60,000 a year. He got 10 kids, sis.
So you gonna get Nick Cannon or you gonna get community dick?
You're going to get community dick a lot of times, no matter who you're dealing with. That's just, and that's again, dating with purpose. Dating, when people are dating, men who date with purpose, they don't share themselves with everybody either. Because there are a lot of decent men out here. Like, I think sometimes as women, men think we fail to acknowledge that. There are a lot of decent men out here who, they go to work, they're successful. As Last Page said, they have more to do than to screw you all day. They have goals and plans. And so dating with purpose should be kind of treated like we treat our careers. You should have goals. You should have aspirations. You should have those 6-month goals, those short-term goals, those long-term goals. And then you should have your action plan. What are we going to do in this relationship to make it continue to work? How do we make it work? How do we create our date night so that we can have time together outside of work or outside of family and kids? How do we plan for the future financially? You know, we have to talk about our debt. How much debt do you have? Do we want a house, or do we want to live in an apartment forever, or a townhouse? So I think it's a lot of things that as we get older, for some people, I think it's easier to date with purpose, or we have to be taught young, or there are just some people who know that, you know, there's some men that know they want to be a husband. There are some women I think that know they want to be a wife.
Sure.
She said that we as women who want better must do better for ourselves first. Equally yoked. That's a whole. I feel like we.
I
got
mean,
2
that's
minutes.
true. That's true.
Okay, what's
That's
true
true
about it?
because it's true because you got a lot of these women, Instagram model, whatever type of chicks out here living other people's lives instead of trying to build a life for themselves. Everything that you see them do is temporary. You know what I mean? How you know OnlyFans gonna be around for a long period of time? How you know any of this stuff gonna be around for a long period of time? What you gonna do in the you know, what you gonna do in the long run? What you gonna do when you get old, shorty? Have you ever thought about that? You know,
Well,
so
what about these men, right? Black women are educated in astronomical numbers.
yes.
Business owners now. I think that we need to, as a community, what we need to do is start helping each other get to that equally yoked, right?
Right.
We need to help women who are successful find men that are successful. And I think that's where men and women have the issue, right?
Right.
Where's the African American man who is 30 years old making 6 figures? Where does he hang out?
See, but women who looking for those type of men, those men are not checking for those type of women that's looking for those type of men at
Right, but
all.
if I make six figures, I want a man who can buy me the things that I'm accustomed to.
If you make it
Or
six figures,
even 50,000. Like, let's talk about that. There's such a financial disparity
if
that
you make it six figures and you meet a man that's making making more money than you, he's still gonna treat you like you ain't never did nothing or you ain't making shit. Seriously.
I feel like this is a whole nother conversation. And why is that?
I mean that's just the way these rich guys act.
I mean,
They
six
don't they
figures is
don't they
not
don't
rich.
want
That's not a lot of money.
but they don't want you to have a brain. Is what I'm saying. They don't want that. They don't want a successful woman doing stuff like that. Not too many rich men or men with money, period, look for those type of women at all.
So, I mean, so that's what I'm going to. So, what type of man is a woman who makes decent money supposed to date? A broke man who has no passport? Like, that's what I'm saying. We got to find each other. Like, where are we finding each other to kind of meet in the middle for that purpose?
I think if he's a lawyer and you're a doctor or a nurse, y'all should be together. If she work at McDonald's and he work in a warehouse, y'all should be together. If both of y'all if both of y'all working in the corporate world and stuff, it might be, different criterias or whatever the case, but it's still in the same, area, of work or whatever, y'all should be together. You know what I mean?
But that's what I'm saying. Okay, so like just say a teacher, right? Say a woman who's a teacher that makes $65,000 a year. Okay? She at least deserves a man who's in corporate or education that makes at least 40.
Yeah. That
Where are you supposed to, and that's what I'm saying. I don't think we're finding each other. I think that's why in our community, as you say, men are lusting after girls on OnlyFans pages, and Instagram models become the criteria, because normal, regular, smuggler, everyday people, we are not running in the same circles to collide. I think that's where we're having the problem and why we're missing the purpose and being equally yoked. I think we should pause here and come back to this conversation, maybe a part 2 next week. What do you guys think?
yeah, sound good to me.
That'll be a good show.
Okay, so I think next week we'll pull back up on y'all and talk. Maybe we need to talk being equally yoked in dating, and where do we find each other? Like, where do we find each other? I personally think
Bumble.
finances is what. Are you watching football?
Huh?
Someone is either homeless or looking for a payday. Good point. Good point. Gloria, please join us next week as we continue this conversation. Guys, it has been amazing. It feels good to be back for season 2. It's your girl, Candy K. Lynn.
Your boy Last Page.
And sweet.
Guys, until next week, we're out. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.